So hello and welcome to Fuel Mixologist, the place on the internet thingy where no good spare part goes to waste. And case in point, the episode of today, which I'm going to call Fuel Bowl Rehab. So I've got here a selection of fuel bowls that I'm putting together for kind of a number of projects in the channel. For example, I've got a Holley 6-pack set that I need to do, and I need to have another couple of fuel bowls for other projects that I'm going to be doing in the channel. So therefore, hence the title of this. Now, before I go any further, I do have to kind of explain a bit what's the philosophy behind this, and it is the following. There are basically three reasons why I try to save as many parts as I can. Number one is economic. So obviously, if you've got a spare part and you can make it live, you don't need to buy another spare part, so you save some money. You can put that saving back to the customer. Number two is quality, because some of the older parts are of much better quality than whatever you can obtain nowadays. So actually going with an older part sometimes is better than buying a new one. So that's what's important, to save all this kind of old parts because of their quality. And number three, this is quite important, it's time. At least for me, I'm based in the UK, in England, and therefore for me, if I want to, for example, obtain this, which is a brand new fuel bowl, which I bought from the States, this is about a 2 to 3 week turnaround from the time I go check out to the time it arrives home. So therefore, it is very important to have, for me at least, to have a lot of stock of these parts around. Why? Because if a customer comes in and they need the engine to run again, I need to be able to have sufficient parts to be able to just, okay, replace and go. I can't say to the customer, oh yeah, I can fix that, but it's a 3 week turnaround. So therefore, that's not quite what the customer is looking for. So, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start explaining what the fuel bowls are, the issues we're having with each one of them, and then I'm going to start showing the fix, and also I'm going to show you how to test them. If the fix work, I'm going to use a vacuum pump to test the fuel bowls. So let's try and do a bit of a walkthrough of what do we have here. So we have 4 cathedral style fuel bowls, two of which I'm going to try to rehab for my 6-pack project. I do have this one, which is an extra one, brand new for the 6-pack, but this one is brand new, so there's nothing to show here. It's just a brand new fuel bowl, just assembling it. So I've got in the primary fuel bowl, I've got a primary fuel bowl here. As you can see, probably, let me bring this across here. It hasn't got a ball and the rod, but I do have the parts that I took from another fuel bowl. So hopefully we'll do that. Then I've got another fuel bowl here. I don't know if you can see it. That it's got very good threads on one side, but not very good threads on the other side. So I am going to do an experiment to try and see if I can bring this bowl back around, because the threads, what they do is they act as a location mechanism, if you want, of the nylon seat assembly. So provided there is sufficient thread in there to keep the nylon seat assembly from going down, I think this might work. But anyway, the test is going to be here to see if it works, or maybe it doesn't work. And if it doesn't work, then yes, I will check it in the bin, because there's no point just keeping junk around. And what else? So the others are just bog standard kind of fuel bowl assembly. And I've got kind of 2 primaries, 2 secondaries. So let's get this, let's start getting this job done. Okay, so here's the first one. Here's the first unit. I'm going to show you the video now of how I fix this. Basically, what you do is you put just the pieces, and you put a punch here to expand, to like tighten down this metal strip so that it stays there. And then what I did is I obviously put as you can see, I put the float there with a brand new needle and seat assembly. And now it's the moment of truth where we're going to test. If I put this in vacuum like this, we're going to test if this fuel bowl is actually fixed. So there we go. Yeah, and it stays there. So that tells me that this fuel bowl doesn't lose any vacuum, and therefore that this fuel bowl is good to go. Okay, so now I got this side hung. This is the second fuel bowl that I'm trying to rescue. It's the one that I've showed you that had this kind of dodgy thread, but so far the needle and seat has gone in quite well. So now I guess what I need to do is get my tester out and see if it works. Let me show you like this so you can see the needle. So obviously I put a banjo here so that is, so I got to put my finger here, and oh, it is holding pressure. So actually, yeah, I think we're golden on this one. So there you go, second fuel bowl rehabbed. Okay, so I went ahead and I did this this batch of secondary cathedral fuel bowls. I did the three together just because they were secondaries. I tested this one and we're good on them. So I just need to test this one, this last one. And as you can see, this one has the peculiarity that it has this plug here, because this is a double entry fuel bowl, and I need just this side to come in because this is going to function as a 6-pack fuel bowl. So therefore it's very important that the fuel bowl is sealed on this side and also on this side. So let's give it a shot. Let's have a look if you can see the needle. There we go, and the needle is staying there, which is a good sign. That's what you want. All these secondary fuel bowls are now kind of certified correct for operation. And what I tend to do sometimes is I get like a Sharpie marker and I just write a little T on them. So I know that they have been tested and I don't need to bother again with testing them one more time. So now in this last fuel bowl, which is the fuel bowl that's the primary for the 6-pack carbs, this last one. So I tested the float and everything is okay, but I found that we've got a bit of a problem. So I'll show you now what it is. So if you can see here, like so, we haven't got threads here. So therefore, it's very difficult to sit the fuel pump cover on there. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a bit of a death or glory play. So I've got an M5 screw here and an M5 tap, and what we're going to do is we're going to run this tap here and try and create a screw so that we can put our accelerator pump housing in there. Okay, so that was nothing that a bit of hot rodding ingenuity cannot sort out, and here is the finished article. As you can see, it's a larger screw than the others, and I mean, it doesn't look great, but hey, it works. It's really tight. This thing is tight and it's gonna function well, so it's not gonna leak, which is what you want. So this brings us to the end of this episode of fuel bowl rescue, and we actually did rescue the 6 fuel bowls that we set out to do. So we've got this ones here well, this wasn't really a rescue, it was an assembly because it was new. And there we go, I've got this other two. So there you go, boom, 6 fuel balls, which is a reasonably good number. So this is gonna come to the end of the episode, and as I said before, and as I say in every episode of in this channel, thank you very much for watching. And if you've got any comments or questions, just put them down in the comments, and I'll try to respond to them as soon as I can. Thank you very much. Bye.